Welcome, race fans, to episode 11, presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance. Welcome back to the IMCA TV studios here at Boone Speedway. To my right's the general manager, Josh Reynolds, Cody Malacote, with Jonathan Logue, and we got Jakester on with us, Jake McBirnie. And Jake, you're a brave soul coming on with us, but it's pretty awesome that you came out here.
Oh yeah, not a problem. So, thanks for having me on. Like I said, I've known Jonathan a long time and Cody both here. So, obviously seen Josh a bunch around the racetrack here. So, I've been watching some of your guys' stuff here. It's been pretty good. So, thanks for having me on.
Another one ahead of you, Jer. Just wanted to note that. Jake McBirnie here, coming on the podcast. Spent a lot of time, like Jake mentioned, our childhood and our dads and the Logue and McBirnie rivalry at the Boone Speedway that's gone on for 30 years and is still continuing, and hopefully someday our kids can continue that right here in Boone Speedway. And that's what makes racing great. First of all, for us being on the fan side of it when we were little rascals into the racing deal and seeing who, our dads raced well together all the time, and they had their other little rivals at different racetracks and stuff. So it's, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of cool,
Absolutely it is.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry.
Let's jump right into that then. So your dads raced together. How much did you guys, did you grow up in the pits together, in the stands together? Obviously you couldn't be in the pits. Sorry, I forgot about those rules, those pesky rules. They used to be different. But did you guys, did you hang out in the stands together, see each other?
Well, Jonathan, he was quite a bit older. He was older than me, so he got to spend quite a bit of that time in the pits, I think, with his dad, more or less helping. And I was with my mom in the grandstands at that time a lot, but I was there watching, hanging on the fences, enjoying it. Like I said, our dads always had some good races, and the Boone Speedway, has been a part of both of our lives, and Cody's, and obviously, so just fun to be here.
So they had a lot of good races. Did they have any bad ones?
Oh no, them boys, they got after it, but they always had fun and got out and drank beer afterwards and had a good time. So
they put on a show.
What shines out to me the most was in 2001. When our dads ran the Mod Car show, the Mod Car series. My dad and them and Joe and Susie and Gussie and the old boys and my dad's whole little crew traveled around to this series. It was the Mod Cars, and man, that was a ton of fun. And Jake was, I don't know, how old would have you been in that? You'd
I don't know,
6?
Yeah, 5, 6, 7 years old,
seven.
somewhere in
Six,
there.
seven.
3 minutes in, boys.
But there was just, some of them years and just being here at the Speedway, and our parents snowmobiled together, and it was just a big thing, and a lot of cherishable moments for both of us, I feel, is what our dads have done in the racing world and have accomplished. And, just, man, I remember so many times we were going to go to Salina, Oklahoma after the Harris Clash, and Joe got bought, and then their rig blew up, and it was just this whole frickin' deal, man. It's like that is imprinted into my brain, and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was pretty. That was a cool story. I can't remember that night who bought my dad's engine, but I remember somebody bought it, and he actually ended up buying it back from him so we could go on the trip. So he had to buy his motor back that night, and then we got on the road finally, and then I don't know where we were at. We were quite a ways into the trip, and then it was the middle of the night, and then the truck. I think it was the middle of the night, and then the truck just exploded in the middle, in the middle of our trip. So we ended up renting a U-Haul, actually, I think, and I was pretty young at the time, but I can remember my dad welded a hitch on the back of some U-Haul he rented, and in Oklahoma somewhere, I think. And
Wow.
You're riding in the back like the Kenosha Kickers from Home Alone.
no, I think we ended up spending the rest of the trip with Jonathan and them guys and their rig, and then the boys, filled up the back of that U-Haul, and we went racing, ended up having to go back and pick up the truck later.
We went to this frickin' Amish store on the side of the road, and I remember Bill Gunther, my dad's partner, car owner, longtime friend, reaches into this bucket. We're trying to get chain so we can hook our rig to the front of their rig. And it's a dog chain, boys, like a small chain. So Bill Gunther's like, let's just get a bunch of chain and we'll just loop it several times. He reaches in there and he's like pulling out this chain, and he's like, where's the end of it? And the guy's like, there is no end. It's a bucket of chain. And Bill's like, oh, there's got to be. I mean, he dug that whole thing out before we finally found the end of the chain. But got that rig pulled over. I'm pretty sure we were headed to Salina, Oklahoma. I'll have to reference that with Dad. But wild trip. And then, we go into watching our dads doing that stuff. And then they both stepped away from the racing a little bit. And then I got started in 2013 and raced a car for a year, and Jake ended up his dad and Jake bought my old race car, and that was his first starter car is into the sport mod class.
Really?
When I was thinking about this yesterday, like, people probably don't realize how, I guess, late you got your start, like, comparatively to a lot of other people, because you were still pretty young. You had to be freshly 16
I
or
was
something, right?
17 years old, I think, when I started racing.
Early 20s, probably.
I started 2021. I think I was 21 when I started racing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, Jonathan actually started quite a bit.
I'm old.
Yeah.
We go to these racetracks all the time, and it's like racing with, all these young kids. And a lot of them are so mature that it feels like we're racing with young, not that they're not young grown men, but you know what I'm saying? Like they don't feel like they're 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that a lot. Like I said, with Isaac, I always forget.
Right.
I mean, he's 18, 19 years old, and but he's been around us for so long. Same with Jake too, because
how old are you, Jake? 20.
I'm 29.
29.
Yeah. So Jake was always quite a bit younger than us. Comparatively when we were younger, right? It seemed like a lot more than it is now.
Now
but he was always around us, so I actually never knew how old Jake was because he was always around us.
So you just said it. I just said the other day, I thought you guys were all the same age. I honestly did, because I didn't realize how much different you were.
But that just goes to show you kind of what this sport does to you too, a little bit. It kind of shapes you.
Ages the shit out of you.
Well, I mean, it does that too. I got a crew guy that had hair when we started, and now he has zero hair. Okay, I'll have to bring that Sandlot picture, and man, it's funny because Duck, he's got a full head of hair, and now I'm like, dude, But I just feel like it kind of matures you. You just gotta. And what you're kind of doing in your racing career, what you're wanting to do, and Jake's had a great racing career, and had a ton of success right away, right out of the gate, and when you surround yourself with your great people, I mean, it's a pretty, what am I trying to say here?
Well, you look at the both of you and the lineage, right? If you got handed nothing more than your dad's talents, you're ahead of quite a few people that are coming in the gate. And then you put their knowledge, you put their, and it's not just them, it's people that are around them and people as well.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you're sitting on potential powder keg, and you found out quick winning Super Nationals as fast as you did. And then turn around, and Jake, as soon as you got in the car, you could see it. I can remember seeing you show up at Stewart, and I remember coming up here, and you could see the talent coming out. Couple green moments. Probably.
Oh yeah, plenty of them. I think it was a 2008 Harris car that Jonathan had that they spruced up, and he raced his first year, and then we bought it from him and raced, and that car had seen a lot of pileups. It got torn up a lot, but it was always pretty fast, so it kept you in the mix. You know, Jonathan had some good success with it, and then I got it, and we ended up winning 2 races with it my rookie year right here at the Boone Speedway. And then
Hey, that's better than what I did. I never won a race in that car.
Really?
Yeah, I never won a race my first year of racing.
Wow. Heat races?
I don't know.
Surely your point average had to have been poor enough to maybe get a heat or two. Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe.
no, those rookie years are tough. I mean, you get in there, and I mean, I kind of had a feel of racing a car a little bit just from going so much as a younger kid and watching. Just if you watch enough, you can kind of pick up a lot and learn a lot just by watching. So when you get in there, it kind of just makes it a little easier, you know. But then we had a decent car, you know, and my dad knew a ton about, you know, 2-link modifieds, which is what sport mods are, 2-link modifieds. So we just had a lot of success right away, and it was a decent car when we got it from Jonathan. You know, he had worked on it. His dad owned Harris at the time, you know, so it had all the good stuff on it that a guy needed, and yeah, it was good for us for that first year, and then we ended up getting rid of it, and we built a new one from Harris again, and then some guy behind that bought it from me totaled it right afterwards. Oof. So. Yep.
The coolest part about that car
Thor
was
Anderson. I don't, you know,
Oh,
Thor
yeah.
Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
He bought that car from us, and
Okay.
then he ended up wrecking it
was when
shortly
they
after.
powder coated that, you know, that body and put on it and shit and everything. You guys
Oh,
remember
yeah.
like how
Hell yeah.
blue and shiny that sucker was?
That's what I was just gonna say. I remember that first car because it had the candy blue.
Oh, it was like the nicest looking like body shit, and then it was like the oldest car that, you know, one of the oldest cars probably in the field that was good, restored and fixed. But man, if you knew the story behind that thing,
Newest looking old car there was.
yeah. I just goddamn that. I remember how much that thing frickin' popped.
Yeah.
Yeah, we well, obviously Dad owns his own powder coating business there, and I work for him. So when we first built that car, we got that chrome aluminum, and we did that, and it was crazy how cool it did turn out. But it ended up getting, I mean, it's just a bunch of work, and then once you did get into some bang ups, you know, it kind of started to look like you know, something that you didn't want on your race car anymore, all chipped up. You know, you roll in the pits and people kind of looking at you like, man, what are you doing here? So
this thing looked cool. Now it looks like a crumpled up Pepsi can.
Yeah.
So, did you do anything before the sport mod? Did you ever race anything at all? Didn't get in a go-kart and have it catch on fire like Jonathan?
Well, I raced a go-kart like twice at Camrar Speedway just north of town here, and but that was about it. You know, my dad was racing, so when I was in that go-kart stage, you know, kind of my dad was racing, so we never really did much of it. And then he kind of quit racing, and then I you know, was in school playing sports, you know, hanging out with my buddies, doing all that stuff. And then when I got done, you know, close to graduating high school, me and my mom finally talked him into letting me have a car, and he told me that if I worked the whole summer and bought an engine, he'd buy me a car. So I worked all summer and bought an engine, and then he bought Jonathan's car.
That's awesome.
That's cool. That's cool. That is really cool because, like, you had to earn your seat basically.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, and that you see a lot of. Like I said, this is a Jonathan line. It's not a knock at anybody, but like,
Well, hey, people get butthurt about shit.
Right.
Excuse me, Ryan. People get offended when you say things sometimes, and so I feel like in today's world, you got to be real specific with how you word. You guys tell me that all the time, and now you're giving me shit about it.
I didn't say nothing.
I know, but you were giving me the look like
Okay, maybe
you
I
were
was.
totally agreeing with Cody. I see you guys teaming up over there.
It was the dad look.
You're right.
But what I'm saying is, like, you know, it's cool that you guys. I mean, and I know when you started too, it's the same way. Like, the reason I think that Jonathan got started so late, right, was because he had to prove that he could work his way and build the thing and put it all together and do the kind of the same thing that Jake did. Like, you know, so I don't know. Like, what I'm trying to say is, you don't see that a ton anymore, right?
Well,
Because you can just go buy everything.
Well, right. But here's what I think you're really trying to say with being nice. No, our dads didn't just give us a frickin' race car and say, all right, boys, here you go.
Right. Yeah.
Because they didn't get that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They worked for that shit. They had, Ergie Lindahl, one of our great friends, his dad had a junkyard. I mean, everybody was friends. It was like a thing,
My dad built his first modified, so
Right.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's where people think that, my dad helped me in any way he could, but he also made us work for it. My whole team, not just me. It was a whole team thing. We started out, we had all these guys, Jake, I feel like that was the same thing, and when we got that car originally, my dad took it in on a trade-in, and it was totaled. And he's like, you want to race? Fix it. I mean, I cut the halo out of it. I mean, I basically cut it all down and refurbished the whole race car.
Yep.
And then he was like, oh shit, all right, find a shop now. Found a shop. Put it together, and then I'll get you a motor and all this shit. Well, did that in like a week, and then next thing I know, we got a race car. And we go out the first night and we rip the horns off first. I mean,
man.
Ducky lost a patch of hair at that.
Yeah, it started falling right then.
Right.
I gotcha.
I mean, seriously, it was so bad. Friday nights, every Friday night we were going home from Marshalltown to the frame machine at Harris and working on that thing. I'll have to send Garrett a picture of one of the doors. It was the size of a basketball one night, and we didn't have. My dad's like, "You're not fix it."
So is it fair to say probably the best thing that both your dads gave you was the knowledge and maybe some connections, but the knowledge.
Definitely, but I also feel, I think Jake can agree with me here, that those relationships that they had with people in the industry didn't just carry on like, here. Like, I feel like we had relationships with those people that they did too, even as a kid. Because a lot of the people that we use now are old. No offense, everyone, but are old. Been around for a while,
right?
Yeah. Most of it's just like anything else. Both of our dads were very successful in racing so they're able to kind of help you. They guide you along the way, and show you what to do. And but they definitely can't make your your deals for you, and your partnerships, and they can't do all that for you. But my dad's helped me out a lot with all that stuff too. People can't forget who they were when they race. So, it helps, but, a lot of the work still has to be done, and the results have to show on the racetrack as
Absolutely.
well. So.
Well, we've created our own. I say this all the time. I love my dad to death, and I never looked at it as like, oh shit, I got big shoes to fill. I mean, even though I kind of did, but I never looked at it that way, because it's like, I'm my own person. And I want it bad enough, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do what I need to do to make my own footprint and be what I am in the racing world. And I feel like Jake is the same way.
Yeah, same as that's what it's always been. My dad told me when I started racing, first night we went racing, he says, this can go one of two ways. He says, we can wreck this thing all the time and be done, he says, or you can keep your nose clean and bring it back to the trailer and we'll keep racing. And I said, okay. And then we tore the hell out of it a couple times, but we fixed it and went back to work and just kept racing, and like I said, a lot of what I've done, but thanks to my mom and dad both. My mom was a big supporter of it when he raced and pushed me to talk him into letting me race, so both of them have been a big part of it, and wouldn't have it any other way. So.
Well, speaking of your mom, now I've met her a time or two, don't know her that well, same with your dad.
Yep.
But I have heard her name more times than maybe any other mom that Jerry has ever talked about. Can you is there any background on that? Did she give him some whiskey one night off the top shelf and he just clung to it, or what?
No, just every Saturday after the races, Jerry makes his swing through the pit area, before he heads out, and he's always stopped down and talking to either us or Malacotes, right there, or long neckers, just those people in that area. He stops and chats with us, and we've just grown a great relationship with Jerry, and having him around the track, and he's just always been cool to us, and so I think they just got a decent relationship, and he just likes to get up on the mic, and I guess I think he thinks it gets a rouse out of her. I guess I don't know.
Well, the best is when you can, because they all stand right behind the blue BHE sign over there in their kind of little area, and you can always look over and you can see Sue, like where she's at because arms are going, and so you can always spot her.
Yeah, she gets into the race, and she tries to videotape most of the stuff, so I can watch it later if I want to or whatever. But sometimes it's hard to watch because she's just screaming at me, yelling, and it's like, geez, lady, I'm trying. So.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
I always thought that Jerry clung onto that because your old man was always ripping the lip.
Oh, maybe.
That's just what was my thought of it was, and when you're watching the videos of any race that you're in and you hear Jerry fire that up, but it's like a thing, like
You
it's
can
a
hear it coming.
staple.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Usually it's about 2 laps to go, and Jake's finally got a clear laying around the top. Here it comes.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean it fits because my mom used to always be hiding shit on the top shelf from me, because I was climbing them counters. I was in the fridge getting stuff I wasn't supposed to be. So I terrorized her a little bit.
So there is a little truth.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. There's a little bit to it.
You going into your racing career here, Jake, how many wins do you have to your credit, and what is your biggest win to date, as for your memorable race or memorable race, whatever you want to call it? What are those 3?
I don't know. I'd say for feature wins, my wife would be a better one to ask about that, but I do know that I'm fairly close to my 100 IMCA wins in all divisions. I've raced stock cars, sport mods, and mods now, but I'm close to my 100th win in all 3 divisions or whatever, and all of IMCA or whatever you want to say. But I think I'm probably like 8 away from it or something like that. So probably like 92 IMCA wins I have or something like that. And then
Buck Shafroth.
Yeah, somewhere in that area. And then I don't know. I've had a lot of good races. It's memorable stuff. There's so many good ones. Super Nationals in this year in the stock cars, obviously my biggest win in my career, just of the big stage, and it was a great pay. IMCA did a great job at making sure the winners they come out very well in that deal. So it's a big race. It's a hard race to win, but it's very rewarding when you do. So I feel like IMCA does a great job, and Boone Speedway at making sure that race is what it's supposed to be. So that was probably, I would say, the biggest win of my career, I'd have to say. And a lot of memories, a lot of memorable ones here. Sport mod days. One time I parked on Tyler Inman's hood on the backstretch on like the first lap, and I went to the tail and won that thing. So that was kind of one of my that was a fun memory. It was an awesome race, and I've never done anything like that before or since. So
This episode just slid to the top of Jonathan's rankings. I just saw it. I just watched it happen.
Yep. So,
anyway,
the sport mod days, man, there was a lot of great memories, racing around here. And then obviously now the racing modified stuff. I've won a couple good ones, a salute to veterans races and stuff like that. Those are pretty memorable and big wins in my career. Those were great races to win. So I don't know. There's been a lot of them, but it's been a fun road. I'll tell you that.
Salute to Vets has got to be one of the coolest trophies to be sitting on the shelf. I mean, Super Nationals is awesome.
Oh yeah,
it is.
Yep.
But that thing, man, they put some hours into those things, and they're very special.
Yeah. No, it's a cool deal to win, and Jason Becker and his crew there at Hunting with Heroes, they do a fantastic job for us racers and for the veterans for the show. So it's a cool deal, and we look forward to it every summer. So we appreciate what those guys do for sure.
Definitely.
Well, hey, on that note, let's take our first break, and then when we come back, I kind of want to talk about the week that Jake had in that stock car was pretty phenomenal. Probably one of the most dominating Super Nationals weeks that anybody's really had in my recent memory. But we'll talk about that when we get back from the break. So we'll send it over to Weir's Machine and Central Iowa Diesel Performance. You're watching Watermelons and Wood Chips.
When you go green, precision matters, and that's why you choose Weir's Machine. From suspension components, tools, and data technology, we've changed the game for race teams around the world. Our ultra-force load machines are revolutionizing how teams collect and analyze data, while our Circle Track app provides a data storage notebook, giving you the edge on every turn. We're not here to follow the pack, we're here to lead it. American-made, race-tested, Weir's Machine.
Central Iowa Diesel Performance is a full-service preventative maintenance and truck repair center in Ames, Iowa. While they specialize in high-performance applications, they can do fleet repair, engine maintenance, transmission repair, or things such as brakes and electrical. Anything diesel truck related, Central Iowa Diesel Performance is your go-to shop. Check them out at www.centraliowadieselperformance.com.
Welcome back, race fans. Watermelons and Wood Chips presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance. Back from the break, we were kind of talking about Jake's most memorable moments and stuff like that before we went to break. But man, I want to kind of get into this. You had probably one of the most memorable, weeks for anybody, like in my recent memory, as far as like dominating a whole single week of racing in that stock car.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We showed up. First off, we raced the Harris Clash. Was the last race we ran in that car before we ran the Super Nationals, and we were just off. We weren't that great. And I started last in my heat and didn't really go nowhere. And so Mike came down and picked the hot rod up and took her home and for about a month and prepped it there before Super Nationals. And, he brought that thing back in tip-top shape, and we unloaded at the Prelude, and it was just good. We went and won the race and kind of just set the tone for the week, and then, it was good. You look back on it and, it went so fast, and it was such a fun time. It's you don't get to do things like that very often in your career. So I just tried to enjoy it and really take the experience in with my family and Mike and everybody. And but yeah, it was fun. It was a great week.
Well, you talk about it too. Like that week is so busy. So you're like, okay, next race. Like, what's the next race we got to win? So I'm sure like you're kind of in business mode, and you don't really look back at like how good of a performance you had until you're a few days or weeks or months removed, and you're like, man, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was good. And I mean, it just. Like, car was just so good all week long, and we got put in several different conditions, and it was just, I mean, it was glued, it was really, really working good. We charged from the first night in my qualifier. I don't know, I came from like 7th or 8th or something, I think. And
was this before you dirty slide job, Doug, or was it after? Was that the second night, Jake? Which one was it?
No, the second night, No, the first night, I think the slide job with Doug, I think I started like 12th or something, or 11th or 12th.
You guys heard that, right?
I think. So, I don't remember. This was a while ago. But.
This was a jab at the Boone Speedway for that black flag. Well, Grant. I just had to bring it up. I mean, why wouldn't I?
So, what's interesting to me right there? He wasn't talking about that night.
I know.
He was moved past that, but I was going to do the same thing you did. You got to ask the question, like, how you literally had to walk in that trailer, flip a switch off, flip it back on, go to business the next night. And you did. We all watched it.
Yeah.
But internally, it isn't that easy.
No.
Like,
No.
you pulled
what I
off
want to
that
know,
track.
Jake, is when you got the black flag, what was your first thought?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was fried. I was pissed. I was pissed. I couldn't believe it. But I mean, I didn't know what was going on, and I'm like, it it was what it was. You know, I can see where they're coming from with the call a little bit, you know, but on the same token, man, I seen a lot worse go all week long, you know. Even like the next morning, I went up and watched a mod heat race and watched a dude get stuffed in the uke tire here off turn 4. There wasn't nothing done, but it's hard, you know. It's that event. There's so many races, right? And it's so hard for all those guys. They're never going to make the right calls all the time, you know. And then to top it off, you know, that's a qualifier that race happened, you know, that happened in. So, you know, there's a little bit more. There's more eyes on it than your average heat race, you know.
It's almost the optics of it.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Right.
Well, the other thing is, too, is like not knowing, being in the race, like Grant made a good point, you know, the video of it was completely different than, you know, well, obviously for you because you can't see it, but then you watch it and I mean I still don't agree with the call, but it was a totally different look on what happened.
Yeah,
you know, like I think it shocked. How many race fans are here, guys, during Super Nationals of the Pit? Is it 3,000-5,000? What I mean, what is it? Come on, you guys got numbers. I know you do.
I mean, I
honestly don't know on like a qualifier night like that, but then you know you have the thousands of people like on watching on what you're saying here, like
but
looking,
because the people that
Live.
were watching got a different look of it,
Right.
and also got to see the replay before, because when you're on some of the catwalks you can't see
the angles.
So from my perspective on the infield, like I was trying to get stuff ready for the end of the race, and you know, all of a sudden I see Jake pulling off and then pulled into the infield because I think you had another race at your mod race.
Yeah, my mod heat race was directly after the farm session, right after that race. Yes.
So he pulls in, and Doug's pulling into the stage, and I was kind of getting stuff ready, and I see Jake coming like out of my peripherals, and I'm like, he does not look happy, and like, and then Doug goes, well, what did he even get black flag for? He's like, all I had to do was hit the brakes. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm trying to get stuff ready. And Jake's like, I got freaking black flagged. And I'm like, oh, man. I'm the first point of contact, right? And I'm like, dude, I don't know what happened. And he's like, I know. And then,
it was just a wild deal because, I mean, so I'd slid Doug, you know, several times before that point and cleared him by plenty. He was able to turn back and go underneath me. And actually, I cleared him at one point, and we were coming to take to score the lap, and a yellow came out, and somebody had stopped on the racetrack with a flat tire or something
weird,
and the yellow came out. So, and I had him pretty much passed at that point, and then the yellow came out, so it put me back behind him again. Well, then I had got a couple runs on him, and I went to slide him again, and then I didn't drive it in as hard that time. I tried to kind of slow it up and, you know, more half slide him rather than just full slide him. And it got too close, you know, and it was tough racing, you know, obviously. I didn't want it to go that way, but I understand afterwards, and I felt like just keeping my cool a little bit the way I did, and just tried to go about it the way I did. It ended up paying off in the end.
well, and like I said, from my perspective, after you won Saturday night, it was like, like, you know, like, because I know like what it's like, right? It's just having to deal with some of that stuff, and like. It did take a little weight off my shoulders, but like as far as like from your perspective, right? Like Josh said, you hit the reset button, but it's got to be because you knew you had a good race car, right?
Yeah, that, and I mean it really helped too. As to Friday, I had my good draw. I mean Friday was my good draw day, so I knew that I had at least a decent heat race starting spot the next day, so I wasn't completely screwed, you know, but. That was the one thing that helped probably the most, because if I was going to have to go start in the back of a heat race, it wouldn't have worked out, because the heat race I did win on Friday, I barely even beat the guy. I was going to run second, and he just missed the bottom in 1 and 2 on the last lap, and I got him. But I wouldn't have beat him had he not missed the bottom, and it just kind of, I won my heat race, and I think I don't know, I drew like a 7 or 8, I think, and was able to win the qualifier there. And I might not have won my qualifier either, but Paul Stone kind of got in there with a lap car and got turned around, and it just kind of worked out. You know, there was a lot of misfortune there for a second, but then there was things that did go my way that helped me get to that point, you know, to win the race. So.
And then Friday night when we're doing Victory Lane, that's when the firework.
Oh my God!
No,
Yeah,
I think that was the All-Star
Was
race.
that the
That was the
All-Star?
All-Star race that Brett tried to blow us up. Yeah.
That was still awesome.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
So awesome.
I'm reaching in trying to put his neckband, and Jake's like, "What the hell's going on?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I'm about to jump in
Yeah,
there
he said,
with
Cody
you."
says, "Stay in the car."
Yeah, I'm like, "Don't get out."
they're on the radio, like everybody turned their backs, like it was.
Turn their backs. Yeah, hit the ground.
It was
What
funny.
are we doing?
It was I'm like, they're like, yeah, these sparklers are like shooting between me and Jake. And I'm like,
We're in the pit area going, oh shit! It's going ground level.
Yep.
Yeah, Brett says he said he was experimenting, you know, with fireworks that night, but
It's like
It was
those
wild.
torches, bud, down on in the victory lane.
Yeah.
Those things have got some heat.
Yeah, they
they're
do.
hot
They
coming
definitely
out of
do.
them.
Yep.
Like, and everybody's like, oh no, bullshit.
yeah, stand next to one of them
Stand next
things.
to one,
yeah.
bud. They will fry your eyebrows
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. I do want to say before we get past that too far, to me that situation is a really good example, and I'm not just going to say for kids starting out racing, for anybody starting out racing. I've seen grown-ass 50-year-old men come up to the flag stand and throw an absolute hissy fit after they drove through somebody, you know, or did something completely wrong. That is a perfect way to handle something like that. Yes, it's frustrating. It's not the perfect situation for really anybody, but look how it was handled and look what came out of it.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had my run-ins with the big L, and you know, throw the double fingers at him, you know, or whatever. But you know, it's like I said. At the end of the day, I mean, we're all here to do the same thing. We're just competitive, you know, and sometimes things like that, you know, get you fired up when you're racing. You know, you put all the work in the shop, and you get there, and sometimes, you know, you just get pissed and do things you shouldn't do. But I feel like now that as I'm gotten a little older here, you know, I can kind of contain myself a little bit more and hopefully not make a fool of myself all the time
Oh,
anyway.
man, I've seen Jake throw a few steering wheels and shit,
yeah.
and it's like, yep, he's pissed.
Yeah. I
You
tossed a steering wheel at Kyle Prauner on the front stretch at Boone in a
Yep.
sport mod qualifier one time. So I mean, like I said, I've had my fair share of hothead moments, but I feel like as I've gotten a little older here, I've been trying to keep those at a minimum.
You know, it slows down for everyone, but you know, that's also the passion about this sport, you know, and believe me, our families and our sponsors and people that support us, I feel like if I'm not giving 100% all the time, I'm like, why are they helping me? Why are they, you know, why are the fans coming here to cheer me on, to see me, you know, if I get wrecked out, I'm not pissed. Well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
When the racer quits caring about what happens on the racetrack, our sport's in trouble.
Yeah.
We've talked about it, you know.
Yeah, if you don't roll into the staging area and plan on winning the race,
Well, yeah.
or you know, getting yourself jacked up to go win the not doing it the right way. So when I roll into that staging area, I want to win. So that's what we're there for. And sometimes, you know, things happen in the way that you don't win, and sometimes it can be a little frustrating. So
Sure.
You know, you go to the national banquet this weekend to collect your helmet, your jacket. I've been there a few times myself. What an absolute honor it is to go out there and do that and get all that. You know, they got these new rules that are coming out.
yeah,
You know, the banquet, I watched the banquet on IMCA TV. They did Garrett did an absolute wonderful job. And everybody involved with IMCA TV did a great job on all the video stuff. And even Jerry, I mean, it was better because Ryan was there to, like, give out the stats. Jake McBirnie, the first Boone, Iowa driver to win the Super Nationals since 1997
In a stock car.
in a stock car. But
Who was the last one?
I mean, Denny
Stoneburner.
Stoneburner,
Yeah.
Stoney,
Yeah.
the
Wow.
57, the old "How you doing, hang loose" signal, bud, on the parade laps right here. Come on,
Yeah.
Which is cool, you know. Growing up watching Denny Stoneburner race the Boone Speedway, you know, and
Right.
tons of memories of that guy racing, you know, and man, he was always letting her hang out. That's for sure. I'll never forget watching that guy race, especially his modified. There for that short time he ran. I think it was short time he ran mods at the end there.
Ran for Bashore, right?
Bill Bashore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, hey, here's a question. Idea, maybe it already happens. Maybe there's a club we don't know about. Is there a Boone Super Nationals winners meeting at the Adobe once a year, maybe?
No, but there ain't a single one of them telling any of them what they're doing.
No.
They don't want to hang out. They hang out enough all summer in the tech areas.
But, I mean, how cool would that be, though, to get everybody that's from Boone that's won the Super Nationals together? I don't know how many there are. That'd be
Racers are clicky, bud.
I don't know.
Right, Jake?
Well, me and Jonathan, we talk
Yeah,
often, but I don't know about the rest of them.
Right, we're gearing up, boys and girls. It had snowed 11 inches in the great state of Iowa. Deer season 1's coming in this Saturday.
The Fu Manchu season's in.
That's why we got the handlebars cut in here. I know it looks horrendous as shit.
I don't know what you're talking about. I
think it looks
like
good.
I said, last year, these actually dangled down a little bit because I grew it out for a month. So I have to leave those on here because it doesn't grow in here. I don't know why it doesn't. It's a red thing. But God bless Resting Stool, big race car supporter of, Jake and I and some other people, Big Daddy, John Gray, Earl's Septic Sanitation. Still doing the whole pumping. His nephew took over it, and it's weird because he looks just like him, but we got that baby cut in. We're going to go deer hunt this weekend with all of our old race friends, pretty much still, too.
Orange Army takes the timber this weekend, baby.
What's the number? How many are coming home?
We have 13 tags to fill.
Hello.
Are you guys are hunting with with Cody and all them, right?
Yeah. I think there's 19 or 20 of us normally that go with them guys. So
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, big. I mean, this is the first time it's snowed like this since we've started hunting first season shotgun, which was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm cranked up. They're going to be herded up. They're going to be we can see them for a mile in the timber.
Yep. And we'll be running them.
We're going to be running them. So I think Jake, can Cody Somers, please find another schedule for the Dome. So it's not on Deer 1. I want to come down and support. I mean, we rent it and all that jazz, but we want to be there.
Awesome deal. I went the first 2 or 3 years, and watched that gig, and then it was awesome, but then they started kind of doing it on Deer Gun 1 season.
Was it the second week? I'm pretty sure it was in December, and we've hunted first season.
Second weekend in December, I think, is when they did it. But I think they thought it was too close to Christmas or something. This is why they changed it, but
change it back.
Yeah,
I know.
Nobody cares.
I know. It's on the same weekend next year. I hate to tell you. They already came out with it.
I know, it's dumb.
Just have to watch it from home, I guess.
I know. I'm not giving. See, we can only. I mean, I know you can only. They're going to say we can only go to the Dome one time a year, but I look at it this way: I can deer hunt from now until I die.
Yep.
I'm 37. I'm hoping I make it to 60. I mean, I could only kill 17 more deer.
Damn. Why you got to put a cap on it?
Why you got to cap yourself, man?
I'm just saying it could happen.
Yeah.
All
right.
I race all summer.
Do you bow hunt too?
Bud, no.
So you could kill more.
You think this is going to climb up 20 foot in a tree?
You can hunt from the ground, right? I don't know. I don't know the rules. I don't hunt. So
I've always been a push or a shotgunner. Never had a bow. Never. That's just what my stepdad got me into. Yeah. Jake recently got into bow hunting.
I bow hunt. It's fun. Yeah, it's a good time.
And Johnny Carter's trying to get me into bow hunting, and I'm going to buy this bow from him and all this stuff and whatever.
Oh, so there's a chance.
Oh, there's a chance.
Yeah.
He's going to be climbing a tree. Old G-Wagon's going to have to get us a Jonathan Logue outdoor commercial going.
Yes.
That might be scary. Well, Chad Weirs, I'm going to need some ladder or whatever those things. Check out you've been on Chad's website for all the great outdoors stuff he has.
Yeah, he's got a lot of cool
great Christmas gifts.
Chad could probably design you something to step on and it just raises you up. You don't even have to climb.
Right. Well, have you seen his new video on the bike where he rides it? I mean, that is so freaking cool. And the turkey video he did, it's pretty cool. So maybe we could make that happen with some Weir's Machine stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it might be a small tree, but I'll try it once.
He's at the top of the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. He's
It might
got
be
a-
small. Just
Ball,
make
ball,
sure it's
ball,
got
ball,
some
ball.
girth.
Wow. It's hard to find short ones with girth.
They're out there.
They are. They are. They are.
We'll just call them sweet and low.
Sweet yeah, so I am super jacked up about, and
Hell
that's
yeah.
why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna cut it in this week since we're gonna be doing the Potter on Wednesday here, Hump Day, and I cut her in last night, and I'm like, God. You look so horrendous.
I thought sexy was coming out of his
And
mouth.
you know what's funny is everybody, like, you guys can jack off. You guys get here and I can see you looking at it, but not saying a goddamn thing. Like, you want to say something, so I finally say, yeah, I know. I look like an idiot. I know, but it's for Big Daddy. And the hunt group, I love my hunt group guys. A lot of the guys didn't know him. I mean, a lot of
Hell
my
of a
uncles.
guy. Hell of a guy Big Daddy was.
Miss him so much. But so that is why we do it. Last year we had one guy do a monkey tail deal. I mean, it was just a weird thing. So good luck to all the hunters out there this year across the great state of Iowa. There'll be, by the time first season and second season deer hunting's done, there will be over 60,000 deer harvested just in those 2 weeks. Right now they're doing depredations and like handicap tags. They've already harvested, I think 21,000, which is down 3,000 from last year. There's your ANF outdoor update on the deer population in the great state of Iowa.
A necessary thing to keep the herd healthy. Because you just let it grow out of control. They end up, all kinds of bad things happen. You overkill. Again, but
I'd love to overkill them.
Well, you know what? So would every vehicle I've ever driven.
Right.
God
Yes.
damn, I hate hitting it.
Right. They're like field mice around in certain areas, which they did have the little EHD thing going on a little while, like that's just kind of Mother Nature shit. But yeah, I'm super jacked up about it because, it's going to be cold.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It is going to be cold, and it's going to suck to drag the deer.
What's the most exciting thing? Pulling the trigger?
The most exciting thing for me is
Camaraderie with your buddies, I think. Yeah.
It's
I
like,
it.
it's everything.
Yeah.
But when you get out into the timber and you're like, okay, we always say this little saying. I'm not going to say it because it's kind of foul, but we send out this message. When we get in, it's like, all right, boys, ready, break, type thing, and everybody goes.
We're leaving the huddle, baby. Here we go.
Right, and then so we sneak down into the timber, and then my favorite thing is when you hear that first shot because it's just quiet. It's like, all right, here we go, baby. And then you're like waiting and you don't see shit, and then all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, here they come, or it's like, wait for it, and then the guy next to you goes, and you're like, oh shit, and then you're like trying to get sighted in on something. Do you know what I'm saying, Jake? You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, it's like, it's the hype up, and that is what gets me excited. And we're gonna go do some new timbers this year. And so I'm super excited about that. And man, deer hunting 2025.
Yeah. It's a good time, that's for sure.
Yeah,
good time.
Well, have a good
food.
time. Stay safe, obviously.
Yeah.
And, let's get some deer sausage on the podcast.
It's like probably I just let me work on it.
Yeah.
Freezer full of some shit. But
You bet.
it's one of the best weekends ever in the whole year because you can deer hunt and then we do get to watch racing.
Yep.
Yeah.
That night. But
that Gateway Dirt Nationals, man, what a great job Cody Summers done with that gig, man.
But
Cool.
we've both been there. It's way cooler to be there.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, for sure.
It is.
It is cool.
And what it's growing and growing and growing into being, like I've seen a podcast the other day. Cody Summers is savage.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you see it?
I'm not sure.
I'm talking about with Long Live Chaz.
Well,
Or whatever.
yeah, that Chaz
Okay.
guy
Yeah,
or
Chaz,
what?
dude.
basically they're trying to get sprint cars to do a dome race, and he's like talking about it, and I'm just like, holy shit.
Well, and the balls on the guy to start that up when he did, how they did it, like, you talk about a risk.
So you know what's really funny? So Cody was actually roommates with Kevin Stoa out in North Carolina, and Kevin tells the story, and he said he had this idea, and he would talk about doing this, like, when they lived together out working the NASCAR teams or whatever they were doing, and
working with the alien.
Yeah, and like, so he was like, I just thought he was crazy, like, and then all of a sudden here it comes to fruition. Now it's just this huge thing.
Yeah, I think like the ninth year. I think I seen. Is that the ninth year they're doing this year?
2016 was the first year, and they didn't have 2020.
Yep.
So, and when they started to open the seating up above, that's the cool thing. So, where we're at now, we sit. I call it the end zone, but we're in 3 and 4, right in the end of 3 and 4 is where we're at. And you look up, and every year it's just like the seating just keeps growing and growing.
Yeah.
And the Saturday night when they do the opening ceremonies, the driver introductions and all that, but then they sing like God Bless America, and they do all that stuff. I got full body chills right there.
That was one of the coolest.
It's
That was
so
one of the coolest
cool.
parts of it was like being there and seeing the opening ceremonies. Like that was the best part.
The other part is they still have the St. Louis people still have the dudes carrying around the f***ing racks of beer. Ice cold beer, come on! Well, if anybody knows who my Uncle Jeff is, he starts hollering at this guy when we're down there, and I mean, everybody's like holding their dollars and shit up, and I mean, like, it's just a super cool thing.
It's a little old school.
It's old school,
Yes.
I mean, it
is.
and it's cool. It pisses me off. I wish that the whole fence thing, like, they've gotten better at it every year. But in real life, when you're there, it doesn't seem like it takes as long as what it does like when you're on TV.
Right.
But
it's weird.
And again, like you were talking about hunting, the camaraderie, you're sitting there with all your buddies.
Oh, yeah.
The fence gets torn down. Hey, it's time to drink.
Let's go get another beer.
Yeah. It's so much fun.
So they've progressed every year. It's such a freaking awesome event. I think it would be absolutely nuts if how would they do that with a sprint car?
I don't know. Somebody had shown a video. They did have one. I think Ted Johnson had one in a dome at some
Was it
point.
the Silver Dome? Was that up in Michigan?
That was late models a long time ago.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, but they did do a sprint car race somewhere. Somebody showed footage of it, but yeah. So I think it's been done before, but it would be nuts.
I don't know. I mean, they get upside down quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The
There's
tumble buggies.
No way they're running wings. No way.
I don't know. Wouldn't it keep them on the ground more
yeah.
than it
I
would?
mean, if it's
You're
sprint
down.
car,
I
if they're
don't know.
doing straight wing sprint cars, I mean,
Right.
that's what they'd run them. I mean, you think the speeds are down so much though? It'd be. I think you'd see a whole lot more side by side sprint car racing than you normally see.
Right, 100%.
What do you run, a 910 gear? Or
Yeah,
something?
probably. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be like done. I mean, one guy gets upside down, they stop. I mean, we're 30 minutes into push trucks already.
Right.
It's the tumble buggies.
You know,
I think that would be the toughest part of
it'd be
it.
hard.
That's what I'm
You'd
saying.
have to have starters on them probably
Well,
for that.
I mean,
to do that.
I think a lot of how sprint cars race is off of air too. So when you're not racing in air, like because you're going so much slower, I mean, it would probably affect. I don't know how it would affect them. I guess I'm
Maybe
not a
they
sprint
just
car
do
racer, but-
micro. Or what is that? That micro deal or something?
So they did that a few years.
That'd be cool.
Down there.
They had midgets.
They
in
had
there.
the midgets
Yeah.
there. Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell. We walked by. They were doing an autograph session. That's when I found out how small those guys are. Holy shit, they're small. Him and Christopher standing. My wife and I are walking along, and Angie's like, "Hey, aren't those NASCAR guys?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I guess they are." I thought it was two kids like
Nope.
standing there, and no, hell no. But that was neat. It was neat seeing them. Unfortunately, the last year they were there, I saw the bottom of some rum and Coke too much, and I had to go back to the hotel. I didn't get to see the features that
Good
night.
choice, though. Good choice. Rum and Coke.
Drove all
Yep.
this way, waited 2 whole days just to go to bed.
That's exactly what I did, and I have not drank at St. Louis at the Gateway Dirt National since.
You can see.
So are
it's
you going this?
affected
Are you going this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Yep.
gonna have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be awesome.
Yep, we're gonna have a blast. We're
A lot of neat race cars I've seen too. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wrapped up
some of
with-
the wraps are really, really cool.
Yeah, they're
Yep.
insane. Some of the
Yep.
art or the art in them is
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And I think it's really cool to like, especially the modifieds. It's cool to see the when there's a few of the IMCA guys sprinkled in there. It's cool to see
Yeah.
them do well.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully brother-in-law Tim Ward can crank on them boys down there
Yeah.
and get her done. I'd like to see that.
So Tim's down there. Dallon's racing Timmy
Dallon.
Currents.
Yep. Jordan Grabowski,
Grabowski.
another IMCA guy I know
Yep.
of. I don't know how many more really. but-
Strickler.
Strickler,
Yeah.
yeah.
Peyton Taylor. Peyton
Peyton's
Taylor's
down
got
there.
the Clash on the
Yep.
Coast deal. Clash on the Coast car.
Yep.
He did a Potter with somebody.
He said it was his first one. I was a little
Yep.
disappointed. I was kind of hoping we could get him on here. I know.
We got to work on that program.
Well, I mean, I was kind of waiting until he grew back the must. I mean, because he was, we talked about it. He was Tiger King for Halloween.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for him to fill back in, because he's kind of seems like he's self-conscious about it a little bit. Like, I did not know Todd was self-conscious about his hair.
Well,
I totally just thought. I just always thought, I'm like, God damn. I mean,
it's funny though that it
he
just
pulls it off and it's just like,
natural. Yeah.
it's just like there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when he said that, I'm like, wow, I'm sorry, bud. I wasn't like trying to bring up a touchy situation.
It's just like when you pulled this, it's just natural greatness. As soon as it
Guys,
shows
my
up.
eyes are up here, not down here. God dang. Now I know how you women feel out there when we're all staring at the old, yeah, okay.
Can't help it.
Right. But anyway, Jake, the IMCA comes out with these new rules.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about that? You think it's good? I mean, have you really looked into it? You built a new car there at the end of the year, new modified. Have you checked the droop on it to see if you're within the measurements, like the per late model stuff, or what do you think that's going to do? Did you run a brake floater? Or like we started with no brake floater, so to me, moving to a brake floater to me, it's no big deal to clamp it up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I ran a brake floater, yeah, and we built a new car there at the end of the year and ran it at Tipton and Marshalltown and got a win with it at Marshalltown there and won the Harvest Hustle, and it was pretty good to us there at the end of the year. So, if we're good with our droop number, so that I won't have to change that. Basically, the only thing that's going to change is my brake floater. So, I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal, I don't know. It'll be interesting, I guess. Racing with a brake floater I've raced with one for a while now, so it'll be interesting to see what the car is going to be like without it, with the brakes. But I mean, I don't think I think the way that our race cars work nowadays and how we race, I don't think it's going to change a ton. But it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping I'm going to take my brake floater off and I'm going to go race it.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, will you not see, like when you guys are getting ready to take the green, will you not see guys hiking them up and slamming on the brakes and driving? Will you not see that anymore, or will it matter? You will still see it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because you can still make the left rear climb, by holding your brakes and applying gas pressure anyway, because you're
just pushing the rear end forward.
When you're holding the brakes, and especially I guess it depends on how you run your brakes or whatever, but I don't think you're going to stop us from seeing that, just because a lot of things, when we go to get going and we go to turn down the hill anyway, just the way the race cars are built, they're automatically going to go to where they are in dynamic. So
the gas takes it there. I was just curious because I've gotten so used to the brake floaters.
Yeah.
Like you can see a guy come out of two and just jerk the wheel and hit the brakes.
It won't be as easy to put them up there, like I mean, you might not see it as much, but I mean, I think that, the people that I think your fast guys are, I think like, just like anything, the people that run well and run up front, I think they're still going to be fast, I mean, it's just how it works in racing, you're going to, they put a new rule in, you figure it out, and you just go about your way and keep racing. So
I wondered too if this might, and I know we probably wouldn't see a big jump in it just because of the rule change, but if this would maybe talk some guys that are in sport mods that are maybe on the fence to say, you know what, let's go, because it takes that out of the equation. Yep. Obviously, there's more changes than just that, but honestly, I think the spec motor deal helped bring in a few guys out of the B mod class more than like anything like that will. Okay. But I mean, I think that the race cars, the modified and sport mod drive fairly similar. I mean, for the most part, with the modified, you've got more things you can kind of do with the suspension and kind of make the car do things differently than the sport mod does. But a little bit more power.
Yeah, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, I think like, the IMCA with their spec deal, I mean, it's going to help them gain a few sport mod racers just because a lot of, you're always going to have the,
a lot of them guys are running open motors.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of the, there's always them guys that say, the crate motor this, crate motor that, they don't want the crate motor. Well, the spec gives them that option now. So I think that it obviously, Tim proved at Super Nationals and before Super Nationals that the spec's plenty good and can race, and other people have too. You've seen other guys run them.
Yeah, because like Tripp ran it for a while too, didn't he?
Dilly.
Yep, Dylan. I think Dylan, Tripp, all those guys have won races, especially here. I feel like a place like here, the spec's a little bit better than a place where it gets really, really slick. But Boone, with our mod racing nowadays, it gets drier anyway. At the end of our features, it's you're lucky if there's much of a cushion left on the top of the place by the time us modifieds are done racing. So
now that you said that I was thinking of a question I wanted to ask you. It applies to both classes. First of all, which one do you like driving better?
Yeah. So I'd have to say they're both really fun. The side-by-side racing in the stock car is definitely by far superior and fun in that way. But the intensity level of the mod, just things happen quicker. People are throwing bombs at you, and the stock cars you kind of get that, but not as much. I find myself throwing bombs at people in stock cars way more than I feel like I get them back, as to where in mods, you throw one, you better expect it coming back and hope it's not on your air cleaner. So, it's just I don't know. The intensity level of the mod is definitely far, far more fun, but the side-by-side racing of the stock car is pretty tough to beat. I mean, you can get 3, 4, 5 of you lined up or side by side or in a pack, and we just stay that way for laps. So it just don't happen that way in mods, partially just because of the suspension and the way they race. I mean, we're more of a make a pass and move on and make another pass type race car, not racing a big group.
Yeah. So the second part of this is my perspective watching you race. It looks like you race your ass off every lap. And I know you're not. I know you got a 30-lap feature ahead of you in that stock car. You're not going balls out on lap 2.
Yep.
Or at least I don't think you are.
Right.
Is that true? Like, are you managing things from the get-go?
Well, it depends on where you're racing and like what you're doing on like laps and stuff like that. But like on a regular weekly basis, like around here, it's pretty much like a sprint. You're going right from the start, especially stock cars. You don't have to necessarily go as hard the first couple laps. You can kind of let things play out because we're later in the evening, so the track's a little drier, and then we can get 3, 4 wide pretty easy in those things. And then as to where mods, we go out there, it's pretty much you got to get a couple cars the first lap to get into that 8th, 10th place position, 7th place position. So you're there if a yellow comes out, or if just to get there and race those top guys, because we're, most of the time I'm starting, anywhere from, 4th row back probably. So,
yeah.
But on a regular week, this place is fun, so it's, either way, racing, I love racing, so it doesn't matter what you race, but it's it's fun. I thought the sport mod class was a great time too when I did that. It was just, it got to a point where I was ready to challenge myself further. So
Very cool.
Sure. Well, hey, let's go to our last break, and then when we come back, we got our Elmquist towing question of the week.
A hell of a question.
A lot of answers on the concession stand food. Over 100 comments on that bad boy. So we'll hear what everybody's favorite concession stand food is when we come back from the break. You're watching Watermelons and Woodchips. This next segment is brought to you by Logue Fabrication, your go-to shop for custom metal fabrication. From residential and commercial projects to auto racing applications, Logue Fabrication delivers quality and precision every time. They're not just fabricators, they're racers too. Proud home to Rage Hobby Stock and Stock Cars you see tearing up Boone Speedway every week. Whether you need a custom railing, a commercial build, or race-ready metalwork, trust the team at Logue Fabrication to get it done right. Logue Fabrication, where craftsmanship meets horsepower. We can help you stand out anywhere with P1 Promotions, the home of P1P Canopy. From the racetrack to the ball fields to trade shows and beyond, our custom pop-up canopies are built to showcase your brand in style, with multiple sizes and full customization available. But we don't stop there. P1 Promotions also delivers custom rugs, apparel, sportswear, trade show setups, and even P1P custom awards that make an impact. You can see all we have to offer at www.p1pcanopy.com. Welcome back from the break. Watermelons and Woodchips presented by Central Iowa Diesel Performance. And we were talking before the break about our Elmquist towing question of the week. And we, like I said, we put this one out. And this one's probably been our most popular one so far. The question was, what's the best concession stand item at any racetrack? And we had over 100 and some comments so far on people's favorite concession stand items. Nobody said scallop taters and ham, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, hold on a minute here. Before the show, I looked down at the itinerary that our awesome GM does here for us, and Camden, Vincent, Crispitos at Boone. Crispito, what?
Yeah.
Neither one of them knew about him.
I know.
Seriously.
I know.
we're getting hosed on pit side.
That's what I'm saying. I told Josh, I'm like, there better be a jar of Odega mild at the concession stand with Crispitos next year. And then he lays on me that you guys had this tater tot thing with cheese and bacon and
Did you ever see them? Big old barrels. They had them up front. They got them right toward the end of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, they're good. So good.
Well, so I spend about 85 or 90% of my time on the pit side, right? So then we have a lot more things to do on the stand side during the Super Nationals. So I come over and I pop in. I'm talking to Teresa, and I'm like, wait a minute. How long have we had Crispitos on this side? And she's like, we've had them. And I'm like, okay. Well, the biggest piece of advice is don't get excited and just hammer one of those things because it's like molten lava.
Yes.
Yes. A lot of burn off taste buds over the years on them, especially when they got them in the gas station and shit. You know, it used to be a high school or a school favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't quite as good as the pizza. Hey, pizza. We used to have Godfather's Pizza at the Boone Speedway.
Yeah.
Used to be hands down like one of the best items. We're getting a little off. We're on topic, but we're getting into
Right.
But first of all,
I did talk to the Domino's guy at the end of the year last year, so I don't know if that's something we got to clear, but you know that'd be kind of it.
Domino's is good.
Domino's is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of.
I don't know if you'll ever be Godfather's good again, but that place, man, is
You
good.
know a guy that could whip up some Adobe pizzas and bring them bad boys.
There you go.
Hey, there was talk that the Boone Speedway was going to do Adobe pizza on a stick.
Okay.
And that's no shit. I don't know what ever happened with that, but also too, I've been getting hounded by this gal that does like really cool things that commented on our post here as well. There's so many things that could happen in 2026 at the Boone Speedway for food items.
I think I know who you're talking about, and I know who commented on her comment.
Right.
And
That's what I'm saying.
He's very excited.
I mean, her everything bagel, like dip.
Really?
Get out of town. I mean, it's killer.
Yep. I'm gonna have to get to know Britt.
But
I see the pictures.
Yeah, right. The other thing is, you guys brought in the fried peanut butter and jelly.
Whose suggestion was that? Do you know?
Well, I had been seeing things on TikTok, and so I'd send them to Brett or Virginia or whatever. Like, I think we should have fried marshmallow.
Oh.
Yeah, I just burped again.
Talking about food.
Yeah, I'm getting crunchy over here. But there's so many things. Like, I think my favorite track thing. Well, first of all, 141 has got, Jake and I were talking about earlier. It's got one of the best food setups, in my opinion. They got really good steak sandwiches, which was brought up here in the questions. Man, there's so many good answers and questions and things that are all over the state, and it's kind of weird. Like at Eldora, I think it'd be cool to bring pepper jack cheese balls. Those are you don't see those everywhere.
Right. And our options are pretty open. I mean, with the vendors we use, we can get quite a bit of different stuff. It's just I know where they're trying to be careful. They don't want to order too much of something and then have nobody want it. So it's tough to let that happen. So you want, and we have so much good stuff that people love. So it's hard to stock everything, but I definitely, I mean, one of my favorite thing that I saw is something we've had for years, which is the steak sandwich. But then Dylan Solom says he puts onion petals on his. I never thought of that.
Onion petals.
That's what I get.
Yeah.
So it's onion petals and. Oh man, I used to like the beef burgers a lot too. I eat those a lot. Those would be good.
So I will once in a while. I'll grab a steak sandwich at Nationals and I'll run in, do a little swipe of cheese sauce down the middle, the nacho cheese sauce, and it's kind of like a Philly steak sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
One thing that and Blake Anderson and I were talking about it in the comments. So on the East Coast, when I was out there, like they have bottles of vinegar, like in a spray bottle. That was a game changer because you'd get a thing of fries, you'd spray vinegar on them, and then everything's got Old Bay on them out there. So then you sprinkle Old Bay on them. Yeah, that was a whole new world that was open.
That sounds pretty good.
It was good.
How about the foot-long licorice ropes you got at Brett Speedway for 25 cents?
25 cents. Nice.
The 2-footers. They were 2 or 3 foot. Only 2. You always got it at the beginning of the season because it wasn't. I mean, it was a hot item in the grandstands with all the kids, but in the pit area, you wanted to buy them early. Otherwise, they were a little crunchy. Come about mid-July, August, right there around the Night of 1,000 Stars and stuff. But they also had like Webster City when was IMCA and all that and everything. Their nachos was like a loaded thing of nachos. I don't know. You really kind of loaded that question up.
Yeah.
The Elmquist towing was a really loaded question because there's so many good things to eat which is kind of nice. Like we used to go to Algona all the time during the fair race and get the big old corn dogs and shit. Like.
Yeah, there's a few. So Colton, Johnny Forklift, he went to Benton County last year and filled in and. Warm apple crisp.
Yeah, I didn't know they had that.
He called me on the way home, and he's like, "This is the best thing I've ever had at a racetrack. Period. Like bar none."
So here's a thing to think about. My dad tells me he goes down to Volusia for the winter, for the speed weeks and whatnot. And I think that there should be an ice cream truck in the near future, because my dad goes, that line at the ice cream truck was a quarter mile. There was people at it every time he walked by it. And
them hot Iowa nights, man.
Kids get on that ice cream. There's a lot of kids that spend time at the Boone Speedway on Saturday nights too. I'll tell you that.
Another cool one was when we were at the Clash on the Coast last year, and we had the donut man there.
Okay.
Making the little mini donuts.
I do like a good mini donut.
I mean, everybody likes donut.
I mean, I like a major donut, too. But
yeah?
Well, sure.
I mean, I like mine a little smaller.
Whatever. Don't matter. A donut's a donut.
True. All right. Depends on if it's glazed or not.
There's always a little traction in the middle.
But that was really cool because in his booth, he had, you could see him make the donuts and shit. And right in front of you and fry them. And like some of those special events, there's some different, like, at Supernaturals, they do the fried tater deal or the spiral chip
Oh yeah,
deal.
Mile High potatoes.
Yeah, those have
You
been
bet.
going on since I was a kid. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
You got
Big
they
hit.
still doing the caramel apple stuff?
I don't think we've done this for a few years, but I remember when they did them. They were big.
Yeah, I think it's good that they kind of search around for some new things and with all the power of.
I've been talking to Josh. I've been trying to get. We've talked about it. I want to do like a coney dog in a bag with either Fritos or Funyuns.
Mm-hmm. That'd be good.
Or
You
like,
already got the dogs.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
You've already got. I mean,
Yeah.
Just need the chili.
You need
Yeah,
the
put it in
chili
the
and the
roaster
chips
and-
or
Yep.
whatever, and come on.
Put them in Funyuns. We did it at home a couple times. I'm like, oh, this is a game changer.
It's all right there.
Yeah, we had a few. So I want to shout out a few of these. Gerald Van Sickle. I don't know if you guys know him. Jerry.
Reverend
Chicken
Gerald.
Gizzards. Him and Dana Havlick, Chicken Gizzards as well, up at Alta. Let's see. Chris Malicote. No, you ever heard of him?
He's a scrub.
Yeah, Green County Onion Pedals back in the day, Green County Speedway. Lots of pork tenderloins and walking tacos, the steak sandwiches. Skeeter Paris shouted out the Brit steak sammies back in the day.
Yeah, Skeeter Paris.
Hey, whoa. Fried dough covered in cinnamon sugar.
Yeah, they call them speed wheels. I know. I read
I've
that.
raced Indian. See,
It said back in the day. It did say back in the day, so they may not have it anymore. But I'd never heard of those before.
Indy, you should probably get those back.
They sound pretty good. Mike Van Gendren, get after it. Pork chop on a stick up at Fairmont. That was Saul Bennett.
That's a good one.
The old Frosty AE chocolate malt from John Strabley down at Knoxville.
And Knoxville's tenderloins were always my favorite.
And we had multiple the Knoxville chicken bites.
The chicken bites
Chris
were good.
Berg.
Well, because they had regular and spicy. I'm pretty sure you could get either one.
Yep, Chris Berg. And then there on the back at the top, Britt Stormer. It says letter ears because this dumbass doesn't know how to type. It's letter eats by B. And I would like to see her in the tower with those charcuterie cups. I'm going to say that wrong next year.
I think you said it right.
I think you said it right. I usually murder it too.
Those things look amazing. They really do. Matt Loaf, Jackson Speedway nachos with meat. Trent Malicote. You got another one coming in with the green hot dogs of Stewart now.
Hey, okay. There is something to be said about a track dog.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
I eat them all the time.
If you have it's like going to a ballpark or going to the fair when you get a corn dog, or you go to the ballpark, you get a hot dog. Max Watts, the first year,
Watts dog.
Watts dog. we eat hot dogs at racetracks, right? And so we go to the Spring Nationals at Beatrice, and we get there, and he's like, "I'm going to get a track dog." And he comes back, and it was a red dog.
Ooh.
Have you guys ever ate a red dog?
Yeah.
Not good.
Little snap to it.
Trash. Absolutely terrible. He was pissed off that he had a red, like that he couldn't have a hot dog. And I mean, I'd never seen a red dog. I've always just been, ballpark Frank. I mean, fatter little. I mean, well, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, and so when he comes back with this hot dog, he's like, I don't know. It don't look right. Like, you guys think this looks right? Because it was a red hot dog.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost looked like it'd been dyed in something.
Red on the head.
Yeah, I mean, it was. It didn't look like a purple-headed yogurt slinger, but it looked not right. And he took a bite of it, and he didn't eat it. But Michael and I were just talking about it because Michael commented on here about. Where is he? Michael Cron. He commented on here.
I don't know if it's on this show.
I think he commented on somebody else's comment.
Oh yeah, probably.
So it might not be on here, but he's the one that brought it up, and it just made me think about that because everywhere we went, like we traveled.
Didn't he say hands down?
Hands down, yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah. So I had to bring that up because that was a good, a good thing. When we traveled all over we used to travel all over the place. I mean, and race everywhere a lot of the times, and it was like, you eat a lot of track food.
Oh yeah. Track dogs. So back when Chuck had Stewart, Annie, we always joked about Annie's wieners. Her hot dogs were, and Danny Cromrie, you're gonna eat that up, I'm sure, but Yeah, they were something special. But Mike Dullard, he commented on Trent's post and said, they're not green anymore, but they are rather large, and they make him question his sexuality, and he eats them in his trailer with the door closed. So, Mike,
That's so funny.
Mike's good shit. There was a few more. Chris Nystrom, 141 cheese curds, and then there was a lot of 141 burgers at Motown.
You know what? The 141 burger. They brought it to Marshtown. And this isn't a jab at Marshtown Speedway, but it just hits different when you're at 141.
Sure.
I don't know what it is. But yeah, that is a good, and it's not a sausage that gives you like belchy, shitty,
Right.
like, it's a really good burger, and they are the big half-pound
They are.
burgers, so it's worth the bang for your buck.
Yeah, you're slamming down some protein there. That's pretty good. Troy Shute with the Boone chicken strips, tenderloin at Knoxville, cheese curds at Cedar Lake.
Oh,
And somebody said you would know about that.
100. Yes, the cheese curds at Cedar Lake are
Top
awesome.
shelf?
Yes,
Nice.
Yeah, I think because Burke and I went up there for a World of Outlaw sprint car show with my dad, and I think that was when Burke got introduced to Moosehead Light beer also. So, but
I know the cheese curds are pretty good here at Boone.
Yeah.
But do you guys know what, like the one? Have you had the 141 cheese curds, or you've had the Cedar Lake ones? I mean, like, what's a guy got to do to get like a vote in on that?
Well, I could maybe talk to a couple people.
I mean,
but
because now, do you guys use Farmer Bakken
yes.
or Cisco?
So, well, actually, I think we do a little bit of both, honestly.
Now,
I know,
because I do know.
because we end up with two different kinds of cheese curds here. We have different from the front to the pits.
What do you mean?
yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Because the ones on the front are probably more like the style that you're talking about.
Yeah, you need to venture over to the front next year.
We're still getting hosed in the pit. But the more digging we do back here.
The pain on Jonathan's face is making me like, I'm sorry, I'm not laughing
because
at you.
I'm more of a, I like the cheese curds are good that are in the pits, but they're a harder breading. And
Yeah,
if
the
you
ones
guys
you're
are
talking
serving,
about.
I mean, you know how many toothless people, no offense, people that don't have teeth in the pit area, how many are in the pit area versus the grandstands? And you guys are holding out on the soft cheese curds?
So we do. They're the softer ones and the thinner breading on the front side.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
Drive the knife in further, bud. Gee willikers. I mean, I'm just saying, when was this a misprint on the computer?
No,
Because this is the first time I've heard.
nope. And I'm not gonna I'm not.
So
knocking,
now we're 3 items.
I'm not gonna knock anybody. I just want to tell you, for a long time here at Boone, the front concessions and the back concessions were two different worlds, and they're coming together. So we're working on that. So we're
Thank you, concession stand gods.
yes, and they're
And all the people that work there weekly for
Absolutely.
us.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Right. I mean, this wasn't a me like.
Oh, yeah,
I really would like to kick you guys in the nuts for that because that's bullshit.
that's a high level kick.
Well, like a
100%.
30-yarder.
Yes, understood. And but we are I want to make sure all of our concession workers do such a good job here, and all of our workers do. Everybody does, but they work in some hot, dirty, like bad conditions, right? And I don't typically see any of them that don't have a smile on their face. Like they're here because they enjoy it. But yes, we're gonna nail up the Crispito and cheese curd debacle.
All right.
We're gonna do it.
Okay, everybody, you heard this.
We're gonna fix it.
We're going to have soft cheese balls in the pit area. We're going to have Crispitos in the pit area.
Yep.
We're going to have tater tot, bacon bit, cheese bite, whatever it looks like in the pit area.
Yep. We're gonna do it.
It's going to be a little different in the pit area, Jake.
I want to be hitting one of them Crispitos for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Go to L&M here in town. Them things are in the warmer. You can't pass
I
it.
do gotta ask. Is this gonna step up the turtle heading to the infield?
I mean, it could. It could because
I'm sorry, prairie dog. I messed that up.
All 3 of those items have a high volume of oil in them.
They have a high prairie dog effect.
And if you're putting some bodega on top of a burrito, it'll work up and explode. Oh my gosh!
Afterwards,
it'll work
maybe.
up a dirty dirt snake real quick. I heard. Oh, yeah, I heard that on a TikTok, man. So I'm excited about that.
We lost control.
I'm excited about that. That is so cool. Teresa, we all know, some of us know Teresa. She does the concession stand stuff, does an excellent job here at the Boone Speedway. The popcorn's awesome as well. What? Just saying.
He will, man. He doesn't surprise you with things sometimes. He just.
These are real tears. I want you guys to know that.
I'm just saying. You guys asked, and I'm telling you.
That's
You're gonna have them pecker tongs on there.
The bad thing, I'm thinking, I heard dirty dirt snake, and I'm thinking, what the hell's a clean dirt snake? But those
A
are
night crawler.
things.
Oh shoot! Oh my god.
Anyway, so back to the food thing. It looks like to me, what won the question of the week is the onion pedal.
Yeah.
There's multiple onion pedals on there, but
Onion pedals.
are you
slap.
guys a ranch or a ketchup on the onion pedal? I'm ketchup.
A ranch.
Yeah, ranch.
Yeah.
Ever mix,
Ketchup's good. I mean, it's both good.
ever mix them?
No.
Little
Good
ketchup.
things don't happen when you mix certain shit. Okay?
little ketchup ranch. No, I'm a ketchup guy. Grew up on it, so
Yeah, I'm ketchup too. I like the ketchup too.
yep.
A lot of people eat them plain. I don't know how like Cody Hennings he eats them plain. And I'm just like,
Just straight up. Yeah, you gotta dip 'em in something.
you got a thing for onion, don't you? That's what I'm thinking. God damn.
No, great answers. Lots of people jumping in on this, and we'll keep coming up with these bangers of questions. I mean, we put a lot of time and effort into coming up with what it's going to be.
Also, too, since everyone's going to watch the little clicker, yipper, whatever thing that Coot comes up with every week, I want you guys to give him shit about us not knowing about the Crispitas, the Tots, and the cheese balls. I'd greatly appreciate that. He's going to come up with a new question for the Elmquist Towing Question of the Week next week.
Yeah. Well, and then by that time, you guys will hopefully have some deer, and we'll have the dome.
Oh, we're gonna have some deer stories. I'm a gagger when it comes to cleaning the deer. I like to kill them and do all that. I can clean them, but I'm a gagger. So there'll be some story, and I'm sure they video it all, every year. But Jake, we're like I said, we're really looking forward to this year deer hunt deal, and rooting on some of our fellow racers down there at the dome in the big St. Louis dome there, and
We'll hope everybody comes home with all their belongings this year.
yeah, no shit.
I mean, I love going down there, but we definitely do the hotel we do because of the covered locked parking. Like it's kind of a situation.
You guys want to get into the track dogs? Just go down there to that TC pit, Timmy Current. They'll have the
yeah,
dogs
rolling
going down there in the dome.
they will.
Dog rolling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Old
sure.
Current and the boys from Eastern Iowa.
You
Yeah,
got
for
it.
sure. But hey, on that note, I got to go to wrestling practice.
Yes, you do.
So we do want to thank you for coming in, and man, that's probably the most I've laughed out of our 11 episodes. So, and we do wish you a lot of luck in the next upcoming season here at Boone and other places that you race. It's pretty awesome to have you in here.
Yeah, looking forward to it, and thank you guys for having me on. And of course, we love Boone Speedway. We'll be here all summer long, probably, and just another year to the record
We'll
or
put-
to the memory books, I should say.
We'll continue to put a dent in the blue yummies after the races. So.
Yeah. Hey,
Yep.
and also, if you can get one of those early wins, make it a banger, you might be one of the first guys to do a drone interview with us.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, we got some cool
That's
things
another
going.
thing, man. The drone footage. You guys do a great job here weekly with your IMCA TV stuff and all that. Garrett and all these guys. So it's pretty cool as us racers getting, that IMCA TV attention on our regular Saturday nights. So,
100%.
yep.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Well, on that note, let's wrap things up. We do appreciate you guys watching. Again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Those continue to climb, and obviously it helps us out And it helps us grow our audience. The more people that subscribe to YouTube, more people that rate us on Spotify and Apple, all the things, share all the Facebook reels and TikToks and everything, all the engagement helps us incredibly. So, but with that being said, Jonathan Logue, thank you again. Josh Reynolds, I'm Cody Malico. We were here with Jake McBirnie. You've been watching Watermelons and Woodchips. We'll see you next week.